So, hello all. We are really excited to be here. We would like to thank LeWeb team for this opportunity. I'm Yannis Verginadis, CEO and co-founder, one of the 3 co-founders of PeekInToo. PeekInToo is an anonymous social network-oriented solution that allows smartphone users to request and receive in real time some short video content. But first, let me talk to you about a few issues about the market that we are addressing, starting with social networks. It is true that there is a plethora of social networks out there, but even in the most prominent ones, there is an access to content that is bounded by the fact that there is the need of a pre-existing connection between the users. Moreover, the capability to request content as a social network user is something that has been disregarded. Secondly, in the vast majority of the social networks, there isn't any support of anonymity. And this is quite a big problem as we see it. If you consider the latest discussions that there have been the last couple of months, triggered by the details of the PRIS project, you'll understand why we believe that in the next couple of years, the notion of anonymity in social networks will be a really hot topic. Last but not least, we believe in the power of mobile devices, especially when it's combined with social networks. Actually, David C. from AOL has predicted that in the next couple of years, we will stop referring to our mobile screens as our 3rd or 4th screen, having the first position the television or the laptop or the personal computer, but we'll start referring to them as our primary screen. So we are actually addressing, PeekInToo tries to combine the advantages of the social networks with the power of mobile applications in order to address effectively a market of 1 to 1.5 billion users that they have a broadband connection. So we want to address this market by offering a new and exciting way to virtually witness and experience anything that is happening in any place around the world upon request and in an anonymous manner. And this is quite important because we have created an anonymous social network where our users can request and receive 12-second videos that we call them peeks, or they can watch any peek that have been uploaded up to 2 hours ago into our platform from that area of interest, or they can provide a PeekShout that is a voluntary peek that captures some interesting events from any place or point of interest around the world using only their mobile devices. So PeekInToo uses a smart algorithm for each case to detect the most appropriate users in order to notify them in a non-intrusive way to offer, if they want, a peek response. So we are really excited because we believe that we are offering a solution that grants the everlasting wish of people to constantly know what is happening in any place around the world. So right now, the second co-founder, Fotis Paraskevopoulos, will continue this presentation with a live short demo.
Hello all. I hope you can see this. If they can switch the monitor. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the application. This is the main screen of the application. As you can see, the UI is really simple. It basically has a single button. But I want to point you to a very important piece of information right here in the lower right corner. This is the current user density for the area where I'm zoomed at. So that determines the probability that I have to get a response to my request. So I'm going to go ahead and request a peek. So I'll click on the menu. I'll go to the events menu, and I'm going to pick LeWeb from the list. So that's the first item here. So the application takes me, zooms right into the event. It's marked on the map, so I know where to request my peek. I can go ahead and zoom a little bit and request a peek. Now, once my request is successful, I'm also able to view past peeks. These are peeks done in the past few hours. So I can just click on one of them. I could play it. And if I like it, I could share it on Facebook, for example. So I'm going to go ahead and share this peek. So I'll go ahead and post it. And I'm going to move back to my screen here. And I'm going to go to my Facebook page. So if we go here to my Facebook page, I can see. Give me 1 second, please. I can see the peak right here. I don't know if there's a problem with the monitor. So I click on it, and I'm taken to the share page. The share page shows all the information about the peak, the map where the peak was located, the where it's from and where it's to, and of course there's a matter of encoding. So there I can play my peak, and that's that. So I can go back into my screen. I can go back into my application, and I can see that someone requested a peak. Now this is an anonymous network, so I don't exactly know who it is. So I'll go ahead and try to give a response to this peak. So when you go into the record screen, you can see the location, my location relative to where the request is, so that you can position yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead and record this peak, and I'm gonna record a little bit the audience. Don't worry, your faces, you can tell them off. So as you can see here, this takes 12 seconds. So the application by itself records, keeps track of time, so you don't have to bother with this. You can then go ahead and upload the peak, and the person gets the response. If I wanted to, I could PeekShout, which is an interesting event without any request. So I can keep this button pressed, and I'm taken into the PeekShout screen. So, thank you.
So, thank you very much.
So we've come to the end of the demonstration period, but I'll have you join me here, and I'll give you the microphone, and let our panelists have at you. That should be fine. Questions for PeekInToo? Natalie.
About your business model?
Yes, actually, I would like to mention that we had a soft launch 3 weeks ago. We are actually officially launching here today at the LeWeb'. And once we acquire the needed user density, we will be able to implement our business model that is mainly related to location-based advertising. But it is, in a way, a structure that will give added value to our users. In a sense that if I'm interested in an area nearby, let's say Paris, nearby the web event, then I will get some advertising that are mostly related to local businesses and offers that I can use within the day. While if I request what is happening in San Francisco, then I will get some more advertisements that are related to touristic information or tourist offers. So this is the main approach, and based on our business model, we have made some estimations about how many users do we need in order to break even.
So what do you think is the density that you need in order for this sort of flywheel of this operation to begin to work? Because you need to have enough people using this that the request system actually works.
Okay, exactly. As you can imagine, we have already discussed this thing. We have made certain assumptions, and we have multiplied that number that we had based on these assumptions. So we have calculated that in order to have an 80% possibility of getting a response from a specific area, we need to have almost 40 people per square kilometer. So, for example, in Paris, that would be around 4,000 to 5,000 people using PeekInToo. So we believe that this is a feasible number in order to receive these requests. And this is the answer. I don't know if I covered you, but
okay.
We have specific targets.
Sounds like you're very clear. Jeff, you have a question.
So are you actually including data from other sources within the platform initially, or are you going to have all user-generated data as people join?
Exactly. This is a main difference from us. We are not creating a subscription channel that aggregates posts from other social networks. What we are trying to build here is to give the opportunity to our users to request whenever they need something. And this is something that they didn't have the chance to do it with available social networks. That combined with anonymity, because we believe that the content is that matters here, and not who is the person that providing you with the answer. So that's why we made this an anonymous social network in order to target at the content, because I'm curious to know what is happening in a specific location around there. And if I receive, and when I receive an answer, that means knowledge for me. That knowledge might even change my behavior in terms of regarding business activities or leisure activities. So I can postpone or expedite any of the things that I have planned to do in a specific area.
And so how short-term are you seeing that turnover? Is it data that's going to be sort of dead after 72 hours or some finite period? Is that how you see it? Yeah,
this is a nice question, and I forgot to mention that. When you're providing a peak, the peak will stay onto our system for 2 hours, because we are all about real time. But in the sense of gamification, we allow our users to share the most interesting peaks, and if a certain peak has been shared and viewed many times, then the users actually letting the specific peak to be alive. So the only peaks that are staying into our systems are specific events that we are covering, or we see that there is a lot of interest.
So something like LeWeb could live on if every 2 hours somebody was asking for a peek into LeWeb, even months from now, as long as that were consistently happening.
Okay, I don't want to, let's say, change the opinion of the judges, but if you will see, LeWeb is listed as one of our events. So the peaks produced during these days will stay forever.
Okay, great. In the short time we have next, let me ask one last question. You place a lot of emphasis on this being an anonymous network, but you are also looking at an advertising, a location-based advertising model. Typically, advertising creates a lot of its value by understanding the demographics of the user. How do you reconcile anonymity with the value of your advertising?
I understand your point, but we have a great advantage using anonymity in advertising, because we know the location of the user and we know that he or she is interested in a specific location. So there we will be able to present specific advertisements, and in the future we can see whether or not that person approached that specific business.
Excellent.
So this is an advantage of the anonymity.
Terrific. All right, well, that is the time we have. Thank you very much. Good luck to you. I'm going to take my microphone back. And let's please, a big hand for PeekInToo.